Elsie, Joanna's 3 months old now, right?
Huh? Why are you asking me that all of a sudden? Yeah, it's been about 3 months. Can you believe it? Time really flies.
Right? I do hope you're actually moving around now, are you?
Moving around? What does that mean?
What do you mean, what does it mean? It's freaking obvious what it means. No way. Don't tell me you're still not doing anything.
I'm asking you what it means because I don't know what it means. What are you talking about?
Job hunting.
Job hunting? Me?
That's funny. I don't see anyone else in the chat. Who else would I be talking to? Why do you insist on refusing to work?
What? Why? Because I only just gave birth?
Thanks, Captain Obvious. Jeez, you drive me up the wall. I wish you'd give it a goddamn break. All I hear from you is excuses. Excuses this, excuses that. I at least thought we were past you using the pregnancy to get out of working, though.
Oh my god, Neil, why are you talking to me like that? Can you stop?
Let's hear it then. How's the pregnancy stopping you from working now? You gave birth to Joanna 3 months ago, and you don't look like an overinflated balloon anymore. And you're pretty much back to normal. You plan on being a parasite forever?
A parasite? I don't exactly think it's fair to call me a parasite.
One of my coworkers had a kid lately, but you know what? She was back to work by the 4-month mark. Thank God the world isn't full of lazy excuse makers like you. Joanna's nearly 4 months old. So you either start looking for work and find her a daycare center real soon, or me and you are gonna have a major falling out.
Is the thought of letting me go at my own pace really that awful to you? People recover from things at different paces, and people are ready for things at different times. I'm not your coworker, and I have my own reasons. Besides, I fully intend to go back to work eventually. I just need a little more time. I'm just not ready to go back yet. I'm still in pain.
Oh, diddums! Aren't you just the world's biggest victim? Joanna's old enough to go into daycare now, and you know it.
It's true, she is. But I'm not holding back because of anything to do with her. I have problems of my own. Didn't I explain this to you before? I had a C-section.
That's why?
I didn't have a natural birth. You know full well they cut me open, and that's not that kind of thing you can just recover from overnight. My job's super physical, and I told you before Joanna was even born that returning to work was probably gonna take me a lot longer than most women.
I don't agree!
What the hell has gotten into you lately? Why are you doing this now, after all this time? I explained this before birth.
Like I told you! God, you're so frickin' stubborn. I almost don't even want to waste my breath on you. You're blowing this way out of proportion. Just because you have a few cuts on your stomach doesn't mean you're incapable of work. You're just lazy! Lazy! You plan on lazing around the house forever like some repulsive little parasite, while living the good life on my dime while I break my back at work, don't you? Don't you? Mark my words, that will not be happening. My mom was never like this. She was back at work straight after the birth, and she fulfilled her duties as a mother when she came home, too. And all without a single complaint. What makes you think you're so special you get to abandon your duties?
I'm not abandoning anything. I look after Joanna 24/7. I feed her, clothe her, change her. I'm up in the night with her. My entire life revolves around that girl. Why do I need to hear this crap from you?
You reap what you sow. Slobbing around the house like an idle bum has consequences. And believe me, this is nothing. You're getting off lightly, if anything. If you're dead set on pushing me past my limits, you could say goodbye to any help around the house or with Joanna. Calling you a parasite would be an insult to parasites.
I'm clearly telling you that I do intend on going back to work as soon as I possibly can. It's just that I can't right now. Why won't you understand?
Because you're impossible to talk to. My job's super physical. Give me a break. You make it sound like you're a frickin' lumberjack. All you do is look after old people.
All I do? Whoa, you really have no idea, do you? The only reason you can say such stupid, ignorant things with a straight face is because you have absolutely no idea what it's actually like to be a carer. I told you how physical my job can get, but I guess it just went in one ear and out the other Just like everything else I say to you.
Man, some people really do live the easy life, huh? Imagine getting that much money just for looking after old people. Anyway, you listen and you listen good. The bottom line here is you will not be leeching off of me forever, you parasite. Oh yeah, when you do go back to work, you better make damn sure it's another care home job. You've got all the qualifications, and let's face it, you're no good for anything else. At least you get a decent salary doing that. That salary is all you're good for, and I want it.
Neil, today was your day off work, right?
Yeah, obviously. Are you blind? I was still home when you went out shopping.
Right. Are you still home?
Yep.
Why won't the front door open? Why does the lock look new? Did you have it changed while I was out shopping?
Woohoo! You and the brat are finally out of my hair! Nuisance expulsion complete!
Excuse me? Nuisance expulsion? What the hell? Wait a sec.
Did you get the message? I thought having the locks changed would send it loud and clear. If you're too stupid to understand, the message is, never come back to this house again. Be gone, parasite!
No way! Is this why you asked me to go shopping? So you'd have time to change the locks?
Maybe.
Why? Why are you doing this?
What do you mean, why? Didn't I tell you? I thought I made it pretty clear I wouldn't be letting you leech off of me, you parasite.
Why can't you just have a reasonable discussion with me? Why did you have to do this? There are ways to go about things. What about Joanna? Where's she supposed to go? Where's she supposed to live? She's your daughter.
I wouldn't be able to look after her if she stayed with me. I don't know anything about raising kids. She'll be better off with you looking after her while you work. I just ain't got the time or the know-how for that kind of thing.
You won't be able to look after her. How's that possible? You're her dad. That's not something a dad would say.
Sorry, babe. This is just what guys are like. Kids are the woman's job. You really think someone like me is cut out for changing diapers?
You have no intention of letting us back inside the house, do you?
You can come back once you've gone back to work. If you can't do that, you no longer have a home. So get lost! Clear now? This is so simply what a dummy like you should understand it.
Fine, I'll go. But I need my things if I'm moving out. At least let me in to get my things together.
This is obviously just a ploy to get back inside the house. You'll only refuse to leave if I go along with it. You must think I was born yesterday. Nope, too transparent. Try again.
You won't even let me get my things?
I don't trust you.
Then get my things together and send them to my parents' house. We also need to discuss custody of Joanna.
We can do it over text right now just fine. This was real easy. I don't want anything to do with her. I can't have her around here if there's no one to look after her.
I'm glad to hear you say that. I take it you're prepared to pay all the money you're gonna owe me for kicking me and your daughter out on the streets like this?
Yep, gladly. Gonna be a drop in the ocean compared to the money I'd have lost having a parasite leech off me for eternity.
That means compensation and child support.
Yeah, whatever. I'll pay anything if it means getting rid of you once and for all.
Great. I'll send you the divorce papers and charges ASAP. If you're not willing to play any part in her life, you can at least fulfill your duties as her father financially until she grows up. Thanks for everything. I haven't received this month's child support payment either. Are you being serious, Neil? This is the 6th month in a row. What's going on? You need to stop this. If you don't pay up soon, you'll force my hand.
It's impossible. I can't. I just can't.
Huh? Impossible isn't my problem. You signed an agreement. I won't put up with it any longer. Pay up now.
It's impossible because of you!
Come to think of it, I did hear some interesting news lately. You lost your job, didn't you? Apparently your boss heard about how you tossed your wife and newborn baby out on the streets, and not being able to stomach the idea of having such a scumbag representing his company, tossed you out on the street. I mean, it's the truth, right? You did everything he said. I don't see how that's my fault.
It's obviously your fault. If you just listened to me in the first place, none of this would have happened. But no, you had to be stubborn and disobedient, didn't you?
Disobedient? Oh, that's funny. I don't remember ever being your slave. This is pointless. You haven't changed a bit.
Besides, how'd you find out about me losing my job?
I heard from one of my friends who works at your company. Her name's Claire. You know her, right? She joined the company as an intern a few months before me and you got divorced. Me and her are childhood friends. We go way back.
Childhood friends?
You should have seen her face when she found out you were my ex-husband. Her jaw practically hit the floor. We get on like a house on fire. We talk to each other about everything. Oh yeah, by the way, I heard something else interesting. You like her, don't you?
What? What are you even saying? No way! Nuh-uh! I don't like her at all!
That's funny. Just now she told me about how you invited her to meals after work literally every single day.
Huh? Just now?
Yep, just now. She's next to me. We were just talking about you.
Wait a sec! Don't believe a word she said! She's not to be trusted!
She told you she has a boyfriend at least 50 times by now. And in spite of that, you keep inviting her to hang out on your days off, you invite her on holidays, apparently you even try to follow her home. You message her at least once every 30 minutes and every message contains more emojis than an average high school kid probably sends in a year. She showed me that chat logs.
What? Hey, stop it!
What's the problem? We're divorced, aren't we? Besides, have you considered that finding out about all this is probably gonna make me lose patience for you even faster over the missing child support payments?
I'm sorry, babe.
Huh?
I liked your friend the whole time we were together. I know it's late, but yeah.
My friend? That's not what you usually call her, is it? What was it again? Clarykins? Say it. Who did you like the whole time we were together? You do want more time for the child support payments, don't you?
Clarykins. I like Clarykins.
To think the guy who was treating me like that was calling my best friend Clarykins behind the scenes the whole time? It's actually kinda scary.
I said what you wanted me to! Will you give me more time to come up with the money now? Please?
Like hell I will.
Why not? You just promised!
I have another bone to pick with you. Why have you been showing up at my parents' place lately? Does this have something to do with the child support too?
Huh? I knew it! You were there, weren't you? So that's why the bullies kept showing up. You pretended not to be home and called the cops on me? I can just picture you now, hiding behind the sofa while hitting the dialer in a panic, like some sniveling, cowardly rat. Are you incapable of talking things through like a mature adult?
Don't make me laugh. You're clearly describing yourself.
Seriously, babe. I'm begging you here. I've been practically living at the job center lately. I'm trying so hard. I can't find a job for the life of me. I want to work, but I can't. Please, believe me.
Not my problem. Pay up.
I feel embarrassed talking about this. But my mom had to go back to work to support me. She had been retired and wasn't in the best health to begin with. Collapsed under the stress of it all. Remember how her and my dad weren't in contact anymore after they had a huge fight and divorced? Well, he showed up immediately when he found out about Mom collapsing and lost it with me in front of the whole hospital waiting room. I've honestly never seen him so angry. Then they made up, got remarried, and kicked me out.
Your dad sounds kinda cool. Great decision.
It was not a great decision. No, it was the worst decision of all time. I'm completely alone now. There isn't a soul in the world I can rely on.
You poor thing.
Right? That's right. Yeah. I am a poor thing. Which is why I'm begging you, please. Please help me.
What does please help me mean? Why don't you try telling me what you actually want?
Well, I Please take me in and look after me, just for a little while.
What? You? You want me to take you in?
I'm begging you, please! I've never been more serious about anything. I have nowhere else to go and no one else to rely on.
I'm pretty sure I already know the answer, but I need to confirm one last time. Am I right in thinking you're unable to keep up with the monthly child support payments?
Yes.
Okay. In that case, I have no choice but to deduct it from your salary.
Huh? No, I told you I'm unemployed. I don't have a salary.
Don't worry, you don't have to lie anymore. I know the truth. You work at Peeps Towers, the construction company, don't you?
What? No! What are you talking about?
Didn't I just tell you I'm with Claire right now? You really should try thinking before you speak. You see, Claire's boyfriend also works at a certain construction company, and he's constantly complaining to her about a certain individual. Apparently, there's this old guy who started at the company recently who'll do anything to avoid working, and her boyfriend is sick of it, because he constantly has to cover for him. Her boyfriend finally reached his wits' end and quit the company yesterday. This old guy, who according to Claire is hated by everyone, was constantly complaining about the child support payments he owes his ex-wife. His petulant whining became so common that workplace morale was totally destroyed. And what used to be a nice place to work is now something people dread getting out of bed in the morning for.
Wait. No. You're lying, right?
Next, her boyfriend showed her a picture of the guy. Her jaw practically hit the floor again. Can you imagine how astonished she was to find it was the same old creep who'd been following her home and calling her Clary Kins this whole time? You know what the strangest thing is? The construction company her boyfriend quit yesterday also happens to be called Peeps Towers. That old man is you, isn't it? Having finally seen through the lies of the parasitic creature known as Neil, I succeeded a few days later in having the court deduct the child support payments from his salary. And with that, I received 6 months' worth of unpaid child support in one lump sum before the day was out. He'd been blowing up practically his whole salary on letting off steam due to the stress buildup of starting in construction late in life, despite never being cut out for hard work to begin with. Having been forced to keep up with his child support payments and no longer having any savings, he was now living paycheck to paycheck and barely able to cover basic necessities. He might have fooled me for a little while, but the jig was up. He tried to leech off me his shameless lies. But apparently, what he told me about forcing his mom to work to a point of such exhaustion that she has collapsed was true. After losing his job for the way he treated me and Joanna, he became a shut-in hermit and stopped contributing to the finances at his mom's place, which led to his aged mother having no choice but to find work. She collapsed on a factory production line during her 3rd week. And her ex-husband and Neil's dad, upon hearing the news, rushed over immediately. I guess the whole thing made them realize how important they really are to each other, because they got remarried before long. Every cloud has a silver lining, huh? As soon as his dad found out what he'd done, he vowed to cut him out of their lives and never have anything to do with him ever again, and with that, Neil was alone in the world. This all happened 2 years ago. And to this day, I'm still receiving the child supports at the beginning of every month, just as we agreed in court. Joanna's 3 now, but of course, she has no recollection of her dad. Instead, she calls my dad Papa now. As for me, I went back to work 2.5 years ago. And I've been working diligently ever since while looking after my daughter with my parents.